tell me for the beginning, please, something about your music beginnings and reasons of your playing.
You know, my mother got me a guitar when I was 17 for her birthday, and it just spoke to me. You know, I love the acoustic guitar, and then my brother was a musician, and he had been playing in bands. He's 10 years older than me for years.
That was the beginning of magic.
Opening for the Blizzard and the Cows and Laughing Hyenas, all really big kind of underground American rock bands. And so I grew up around that whole thing, you know, of like seeing him go out to shows and doing his thing. So when, you know, I got the guitar, he brought me upstairs and showed me how to play, you know, Pigs on the Wing by Pink Floyd. And it just spoke to me, and then ever since I've been writing songs, you know.
That was the beginning of magic.
Yeah, that would be like, that was the first real moment, yeah, that I had with the guitar, yeah.
Je m'appelle Alain Delabo, docteur en médecine, gériatre de profession et chrononutritionniste, inventeur de la chrononutrition depuis 1996, avec un premier livre paru en 1999 qui porte un nom déposé, la chrononutrition. Il s'appelle Mincir sur mesure grâce à la chrononutrition. Livre qui vient d'être traduit en serbe et qui m'a permis de découvrir qu'en Serbie, beaucoup de gens connaissaient la chrononutrition et étaient très intéressés par cette spécialité. Je suis directeur de l'Institut de recherche européen sur la nutrition et à ce titre, je tiens à participer à des études, à faire participer mes amis serbes aux études sur le cholestérol et sur le diabète que nous faisons sur toute l'Europe.
Kako ste došli na ideju da započnete hronoishranu?
J'ai pris 30 kilos quand j'ai arrêté de fumer en 1986. Et au troisième régime que j'ai fait pour essayer de maigrir, mon épouse m'a dit ou tu manges correctement ou je divorce. Parce que j'étais de très mauvaise humeur. Et elle m'a dit, parce que je suis gériatre et j'avais un service de gériatrie dans un centre pour personnes âgées, elle m'a dit tu n'as qu'à manger comme les gens âgés et ça devrait aller puisque tu les ramènes à la vie, et ben tu n'as qu'à en faire autant pour toi. Et je l'ai fait. Et je me suis aperçu que les femmes n'avaient pas toujours raison, mais qu'elles avaient souvent raison, parce que ça a très très bien marché. Et c'est ça qui a changé complètement ma vie, puisque de gériatre, je suis devenu progressivement nutritionniste, puis inventeur de la chrononutrition, grâce à laquelle j'ai pu reperdre mes 30 kilos et surtout reperdre le diabète et le cholestérol qui m'étaient tombés dessus en même temps que mes kilos. Une de mes belles-sœurs est venue me voir en 1987 pour me dire « fais pour moi ce que tu as fait pour toi ». Et elle m'a juré qu'elle n'en parlerait jamais à personne. C'est pour ça que je suis ici en Serbie pour vous en parler. Deuxième principe, on sait que les femmes ont toujours raison, mais elles sont très menteuses.
And later after that, making a whole band and everything, how is it going?
Yeah, you know, that was, you know, I think when you're in your early 20s, you start to put together ideas of what kind of bands you want to be in, and you know, a lot of that had to do with like the Beatles and the Stones and finding like-minded musicians that like the same things, and then you start to dig a little bit more, and you know, you get your first weekend show, and then you get your first festival date, and then you get your first tour, and then, you know, once the kind of the train starts moving in that direction, you know, you can wake up 15 years later and you're like, here I am.
I'm still doing this.
Yeah, yeah, like it's still working.
It's still working, yeah.
So, but those, you know, the beginning stages were probably the most pure and best stages when you were just alone with your guitar and playing, or, you know, initially forming bands and things like that, which was really fun. You know.
Kada ste počeli da promovišete taj način ishrane? Kako je to sve teklo?
Alors, ce qui est amusant, c'est que je n'ai pas fait de promotion. Ce sont les gens qui sont venus me voir, un par un, puis par dizaines, puis par centaines, puis par milliers, puisque à l'heure actuelle, dans ma bonne ville de Rouen, j'ai 140 000 dossiers de patients, qui ne sont pas tous les dossiers que je n'ai pas pu garder, parce qu'il y en aurait plus de 300 000. C'est tout simplement le bouche à oreille et la renommée qui s'est installée sans que je fasse le moindre effort pour ça, ce qui me va très bien parce que finalement, le bouche à bouche, c'est la meilleure des publicités et on n'a pas besoin de s'en faire.
So you did music for TV series Sons of Anarchy. Tell me something about that, about your impressions.
Well, you know, they at that time I had a pretty big band that I was fronting down in the southern part of the United States, and they had come out. The supervisors for that particular network had seen us play at a very small club, kind of the size of this, in Austin, Texas, at South by Southwest Music Festival, and they really took a liking to the band, and they had a pilot series that they were working on about motorcycles, is what they told me. And that they thought my music would be really good with the show. So of course we jumped on it, you know, and became friends with the head music supervisor of that show, and then I became close friends with him personally, and then it just spawned into a really creative working environment where, you know, they were in constant need of music, and they had a few key musicians that they went to, and I just happened to be one of them. So it was, I guess, like right place at the right time kind of thing. Yeah. So it was like
You made good songs.
Yeah, thank you. And it was cool. It was a real fruitful relationship. I mean, no one understood how big the show was going to be. Yeah.
And it is still, I think.
Yeah, man. It still is like a deal. You know, people are still finding out about it and still finding the music from it and things like that.
Šta mislite kako se ljudi u Srbiji hrane?
Pas si mal que ça. Les gens en Serbie ne mangent pas si mal que ça. Simplement, ils ignorent, comme beaucoup de gens encore en France d'ailleurs, la façon correcte de manger dans la journée. Ce ne sont pas ce que j'appellerais en français des goinfres, mais tout simplement, ils ne savent pas manger. Je vois en consultation pour apprendre à mes élèves, en consultation des Serbes, ils ont les mêmes défauts et les mêmes qualités que les Français et les Françaises, c'est-à-dire manger de travers.
Do you ride bike maybe?
You know, I'm not a good bike rider. The last time I was on one, I wrecked, and you know, I tore up like my face, and I was in a wedding party the day after, and so with one of my best friends from growing up, and he just looked at me like, I can't believe you did this to me. You know, I had half my face was red and scarred up, and so I never got on another bike again. But I do love bikes, and you know, I happen just to write music with people that ride a lot of bikes.
Koji bi bio neki savjet, nešto ukratko čega bismo mogli da se pridržavamo?
C'est relativement facile. Savoir manger, c'est apprendre à manger des aliments gras le matin, des aliments très nourrissants le midi, un peu de sucré et d'oléagineux en fin de journée, et le soir des aliments légers. Ce qui ne veut pas dire qu'on va se priver le soir, mais qu'on va manger des aliments très faciles à digérer.
Napravit ćemo kratki prelaz sa dve teme na koje smo fokusirani u ovoj emisiji i upoznati se sa japanskim bendom 101A. Dolazili su u Srbiju više puta, svirali su na Exitu, a i obradili su pesmu Daire od grupe Smaka, što zvuči veoma zanimljivo.
My name is Sari and play drums.
Yeah.
My name is Noah, guitar and vocal.
My name is Zaki, bass and PC.
And PC.
Yeah.
But bass with 3 strings.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you decided to play song Daire from our Serbian group Smak?
And Serbian friend taught us, and many music he taught us, but we love the song Daire. And Serbian language, first I did not understand it, but I checked very nice lyric. Yeah, I love it very much.
How you decided to come on this tour and come to Serbia?
It's a good question. Nebojša had called us. He had seen some live footage of my band. We had just released a new record. And he had seen some stuff on KEXP, some radio stuff that we were doing in the States, and he loved it and thought that it would be pretty appropriate over here. On the flip side, we had always wanted to come to Europe. I had been here in other bands before, mostly doing London, UK type stuff, but never to this part. And so when the opportunity came up to come over here, it was like a no-brainer, you know? I mean, coming from where we're from, this is kind of an epic opportunity to see a new part of the world that we never thought that we would see, really, and then to be able to play shows and do entertainment on top of that is like a bonus. So we're more than happy, that we came, and that was kind of how we got hooked up with coming on this tour.
Je me faisais de la Serbie une idée historique sur tous les événements historiques de la Serbie. Ils sont tumultueux, c'est le moins qu'on puisse dire. J'ai trouvé des gens extrêmement agréables. Et puis j'ai constaté avec surprise qu'à Belgrade, on peut traverser la rue sans se faire tuer, ce qui n'est pas le cas à Paris.
What do you expect from Serbia, and what are your first impressions now?
I don't know. I think I think that we are liking this area because there's something very punk rock about it. It feels a little bit industrial and kind of like with the graffiti and with I don't know, like a lot of the old army barracks that have been turned into certain things. We've played a couple clubs like that now. And it's something that we definitely do not have in America, and the people have been really warm to us throughout the entire region. Starting in Slovenia all the way through Croatia and down. I mean, nice and kind, and we barely speak any of the language, and they've taken pity on us, and we've had like amazing meals in people's houses, and it's a really humbling experience, to say the least, for us.
Jeste naučili možda neku srpsku reč? Jesu vas naučili nešto?
Les gens me font la gentillesse de parler en anglais, ce que je ne comprends pas plus d'ailleurs que le serbe. Donc j'ai pris une excellente interprète, très gentille et très mignonne, que vous ne verrez pas sur l'écran parce qu'elle est tellement timide qu'elle est en voix off.
I heard from a girl from organization here that you're learning Serbian language. Is that true?
No, I mean, a little bit, like Dobro veče and Stajmapsu, we say what's up dog all the time in the States and things like that. So, but very little. I mean, it's a difficult language but we're trying, and voila, yeah, we're really trying, and we're having a really great time doing it. So our Serbian counterparts have been really good to us and showing us the ropes and things like that. Yeah.
Čuo sam da se mnogo ljudi raspitivalo o vama i da su dolazili ovde da traže savete. I šta su vas najčešće pitali?
La question de base, c'est comment il faut que je mange? Docteur, j'ai du cholestérol, qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je fasse? Docteur, j'ai du diabète, qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je fasse? Et heureusement, à toutes ces questions-là, j'ai les réponses.
You tried something from this area?
Yeah, like we just had this amazing meal in our sound guy's parents' place. They live in a very small apartment, flat in a small town outside of Belgrade, and it was awesome, It was like his mother cooked us this amazing meal, and it was by far, probably one of the better meals that we've ever had on tour, and I think that everybody was really full and fell asleep on the car ride over here. And,
Great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Čuo sam da na prvi pogled kažete čoveku koliko bi trebalo da smrša. Koliko bi ja trebalo da smršam?
Là, vous n'êtes pas modeste du tout parce que vous savez très bien que vous êtes très bien fait et vous voulez que je vous le dise. Eh ben d'accord. en fait, pour être plus sérieux, la chrononutrition n'est pas, au départ, était demandée par les gens pour maigrir. Mais, et je l'ai constaté aussi en Serbie avec plaisir, les gens se rendent de plus en plus compte que c'est un excellent moyen d'être en très bonne santé. La récompense, c'est qu'on est très beau et très bien, vous n'avez qu'à me regarder, mais l'essentiel, c'est qu'on maîtrise tous les problèmes métaboliques et qu'on reste, à l'âge que j'ai 75 ans, je vis comme à votre âge, je m'amuse comme à votre âge, et je ne vois pas le temps passer.
Can you say about your audience here and audience in States? Is that different?
Yeah, well, I think in the States, you know, it's a bigger audience because people know who we are. And so over here, people are curious, I think, and they want to know what maybe we're going to bring to the table. And so it's an interesting dynamic, you know, every night we have to come up to the shows and be somewhat prepared and ready to put on like a good rock show rather than expect people to just automatically get it. It's a give and take, you know. We have to show people that they're paying money to come see us, and we're going to give them their money's worth. And I want everyone to leave satisfied. And if they don't, then that's not good. So we put everything that we have into the show.
En fait, on découvre dans ce livre qu'il suffit de manger correctement pour être en bonne santé et pour avoir un corps en bon état et pour avoir une silhouette parfaite. Tout simplement, il faut retrouver tous les principes ancestraux de la chronobiologie humaine qu'on a oubliés au cours des siècles et qu'il faut retrouver. Je ne demande pas à retourner à l'état primitif, mais à retenir les leçons de ce que l'être humain est depuis des millions d'années.
Did you have a chance to maybe meet musicians from here?
Yeah, you know, there have been a few that we've met, you know, up in Slovenia. There were, you know, a handful that we had met. We didn't really meet too many in Croatia. We met a couple when we were hanging out in Italy, and then we did you know, outside of Koper, we did a radio show. Yeah. And we met a Slovenian guy who was a big producer up there, and he showed us Jimi Hendrix's microphone that he got from the English tours, and so there were a lot of cool things like that. But we're looking forward to, you know, and like Nebosha obviously knows a bunch of people here, and so we're eagerly anticipating meeting a bunch of musicians and hanging out.
Donijeli ste sa sobom vaše znanje i knjigu, a šta ćete poneti iz Srbije?
Ah, beaucoup. Ça, c'est une très belle question. Je vais retenir de la Serbie beaucoup d'amitié, beaucoup de gens chaleureux, un pays qui se reconstruit et qui dégage une énergie formidable, et ça, c'est magnifique.
Did you hear anything from your grandparents about this area, about ex-Yugoslavia, something about it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They were very traditional, you know. They would play traditional Slovenian music when we would go to gatherings at their place, and you know, my grandmother would always make pizza and things like that, and so not too much as far as they would speak, but we could never understand what they were saying, and then I was such a small child that I never, you know, asked too much. And they had a big family, so there were a lot of my father had 4 brothers and 2 sisters, and then they all had kids, and then they had, you know, so we had a lot of cousins, and so it was a big kind of festive experience whenever we would go there. But they were very proud, and you know, I'm the first one to come back from the family, so it's pretty cool.
Da li ćemo imati prilike ponovo da vas vidimo ovde i šta će biti vaš glavni razlog za novi dolazak?
Tout simplement continuer à travailler avec l'équipe médicale de Serbie, avec les professionnels de santé serbes, pour que puisse se répandre en Serbie une alimentation qu'ils attendent et qu'ils demandent et qui va leur rendre service, et cela me fera très très plaisir. Et je pense, de façon de plus en plus certaine, et avec l'accord de mes amis serbes, de faire un travail entre la France et la Serbie sur justement la maîtrise du cholestérol et du diabète grâce à la chrononutrition. Une étude que je voudrais, non pas nationale, mais justement européenne.
What are your plans generally and for Serbia?
Serbia, yeah. I mean, we're going to play, 3 or 4 shows here, and then we head down to Greece, and we finish up the tour with 6 dates down there, and then we fly home, and then we come back in February, and we do some more kind of in the middle, Germany and Netherlands, things like that, and then we fly back and probably make a new record, and then we come back again, and so, but this is definitely, my grandparents are from Slovenia, and so it was like a big deal for me to come over here, and so it feels very cool to be in the region, and we'll always be thankful for, Nebojša and everybody for bringing us over for this.